Of course, we get the motor fixed, and that was when I was putting it on radials to go to Radio versus the World. So, you know, Monty's my boy. He's my guy. I call him at every decision I make and everything that I would do. I would call Monty and get his opinion. And I call him. We're I'm pulling into Darlington with Ryan, and we're going to test for Radio versus the World. And fuck, I'd been on the struggle bus. I mean, I didn't know nothing about radials. I know I kind of had a general idea, and knew the car had to separate, so I changed some shit around on it. I was dumb. I didn't change the converter. I didn't change the gear. I didn't do any of that shit. I just reset the 4-link, and that was it. Put radials on it. So when we go to, I'm at Darlington testing, and I called Monty as I was pulling into Darlington and said, hey, man, I need a radial tune-up for this car, because, you know, I'm going Radio versus the World. Of course, he was always with Chad Henderson in the Buick. And he goes, well, it's real simple, James. He said, pull timing out of it till it goes, then put it back in till it don't. And the way he said that, because Monty was a very, very dry guy. So if you didn't know Monty real well, you'd think he's just being an asshole, but he wasn't. He was just dry. And, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I thought, there's a lot of things that went through my head, but I went, you know, I can't even get him to fucking tell me where to start at with this deal. So I got bent out of shape. I got bent out of shape bad. I was pissed off, and I said, I'll never call him again. I mean, I got up my feelings pretty hard over that, because my feelings were hurt. I mean, my go-to guy, one of my closest best friend, the guy that's been, you know, help me put this fucking combination together, and now he says something like that. Well, so I pulled timing out of it, and I'm trying to get it to go, and I got it on 2 kits, and I mean, it's literally, I didn't get Stacy posting you guys on the video. This car's on the back tires for 400 fucking feet, and I wouldn't take the wheelie bars off of it, because all I seen at Radio versus the World was these cars blowing over, and I didn't want to blow over. So, and it was actually, ironically, Steve Petty come walking over by my trailer, and Ryan's telling me, put weight on the front, and I'm like, all right, and I borrowed weight from Ryan, and he come walking around the corner, he said, hey, he said, you want some advice? I said, from you? Absolutely. He said, don't put weight on the front end. He said, how many kits you got on that car? And I said, 4. He said, how many you got on? I said, 2. He said, turn the 3rd one on. He said, as soon as it starts to pull the front tire. I said, do what? When it starts to wheel, you want me to turn another kit on? He goes, absolutely. He said, what's happening is you're dead hooking the tire and it's walking the gear. He said, put more power to it and it'll drive the front end back down. It's Steve Petty, guys. I mean, when you got somebody like that's giving you advice, you fucking take it. And I did it in that car, bam, right down fucking Broadway. And I was like, fuck yeah, we're ready. So, well, we were ready up till the next pass when it actually started to walk, and I let out of it, and when I let out of it, I took more power away, so the car really stood up, and it touched one of the wheelie bar. It touched the wheelie bar, turned the car a little bit, and sat down against the wall. And you know, that's where you guys see me at Radio versus the World. We're fixing the control arm and all that shit. So we go to Radio versus the World, and you know, the car went on its first pass, went like a big key to helping me set that car up for radial suspension wise was Brent Austin, guys. I mean, he's a bad motherfucker. Brent Austin, Travis Quillen, and Monty Smith. And Jack can't even say his name. Has done more for me than to get me where I'm at. So Brent's actually there, and he wants to reset the 4-link, and I said, cool. So he resets all the fucking 4-link, and we got there, and the car, the pass before, it already went like a 104, 105. He changed some shit up on it, tightened the front end down a little bit more. We went out there and went a 101. We went a 101 60 foot. It went 268 to the 330. It went 4 413, 414 at 185 miles an hour on 3 kids. A single solenoid 24, a dual solenoid 28. I was turning on 8/10, leaving on the single, and I was turning on the 32 at 1.6 in the run. We come back and I put a little bit more timing in it. Brent ratcheted the front down, tightened the front down some more. And he goes, man, this, and we went like a 102 or 101. Maybe it was a 101. But Brent goes, oh, he said, this subbitch is going to go a 1-0 this pass. And that's when it went to 984. Went 984 to, I think the pass before that, it went like a 69. That pass, it went as 265. And I lost 2 pistons. It laid on the converter, lost 2 pistons. And the car still went like a 4. The pass before was a 411. That pass, it went it went to 964 60 foot. It went 265 or 266 to 330. Lost 2 pistons in high gear. Still went through and ran a 413, 414 at 174 miles an hour. So then we go back. We put 2 pistons in it because that was our last qualifying run. We put 2 pistons in it so we can make the show. But in the meantime, Monty, I haven't seen him, haven't talked to him. He's working on Chad's car, and I was pissed, didn't want to talk to him anyway. And Robbie Devane Carburetors, he come over and was talking to me, and he said, yeah, he said Monty was up there. He said we were talking, and Robbie's laughing. He goes, he said you called him when you was pulling into Darlington wanting a drag radial tune-up, and he's laughing about it. I said, so Monty thought that was funny? He goes, oh yeah, he's up there just laughing his ass off. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is wrong with him? What the fuck did I do? I don't know why he's fucking acting like that. So after we go the 984 60 foot, Monty comes walking down to the pit. And I'm in there and I'm looking at the data logs and trying to make my next best educated guess on what we were going to do after putting 2 pistons in it. And Monty comes up, asks me, he says, what are you doing, Bubba? I said, I'm looking at data. I said, you want to look at data? He said, sure. So Monty, like me and most of the men out there, we don't show affection. That's just not how we are. I'm sitting on the stool, and I have my black gooseneck trailer, and I got my computer on the gooseneck part, and Monty walks up to me and leans over and sticks his head up against mine. And he goes, and he's sitting there looking at the data log with me, and it just hit me, and he asked a question, and I turned to him and I stood up. I said, Monty, I don't know what the fuck I did to piss you off. Tell me, it won't happen again. Bah! Boy, it's hard. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I pull into Darlington and ask you for a radial tune-up. I said, and you tell me pull timing out of it till it goes, then put timing back in it. I said, then I'm up there and trying to fucking figure this deal out, and you're up there laughing at Robbie Devane because I asked you for a radial tune-up. I said, what the fuck, Monty? I said, you're my best fucking friend. He goes, hold on. He goes, James, he said, I have taught you everything about nitrous that I can. He said, you just want validation. You want to know that the decision you're making, you want me to say it's okay. And you don't need me to say it's okay. He said, I was laughing because you just went a 984 60 foot. The fastest I've ever seen a fucking nitrous car go on a radial. And to that date, there was only one, it was the second fastest 60 foot of radial versus the world. I think Stevie Jackson with his brand new car, the brand new car that he showed, went faster than mine. But I mean, that was, you guys go back, that was an unheard of 60 foot and it set the world on fire. And Monty said, I came down here to see what you're doing because I can't hit my ass, do my Monty impression, I can't hit my ass with both hands with Henderson's car, and I just want to see what the hell you used to doing. So he said He said, I'm not going to do the Monty deal because that gets me more emotional. I used to love mimicking him, but now it kind of hurts. But he said, if I ever say anything that upsets you or you think that I'm mad at you, he goes, man, hit me upside the head. He said, if I say something stupid that makes you feel that way. I said, Monty, if I hit you in the head every time you said something stupid, your head would be swelled up that fucking big. So, just before, a few months, about when I was down helping him pack his stuff at his dad's, Tina, his girlfriend, who he desperately wanted to be his wife, they were just waiting, was the love of Monty's life. Period. And we're sitting in his living room, me, Stacy, Tina, and Monty. And he said, and he told Tina, that's the first time I'd ever met Tina. And he said, the three greatest friends I have in this world is Chad Henderson, Travis Quillen, and James Goat. I don't think this video's ever gonna air. So, let's keep my back to you. So, after we talked, Monty was walking away. Said he hadn't been feeling good. When he's walking away, Stacy asked him, she said, you okay? He said, oh, I'm fine. Stacy goes, I don't think you're fine. She said, you sure? You don't look like you're feeling good. He said, oh, no, I'm fine, just tired. And when he was walking away, he turned around. He said, you know I love you, brother. He died a week later. So, when this car came back up for sale, oh shit. Stacy always been on me wanting to buy something for me all the time. I said, well, hell, if I want to buy something, I'll just buy it, because all you're going to do is use my money anyway. And I always teased her about that, but she didn't have to buy me anything. She's my wife. She didn't have to get me anything. I had her. But when this car came up for sale, and the guy that I'd actually traded it off to trade, and I'd sold my Nova to him, got this car back from him, or traded him I traded him the Chevelle back for the Nova, and then he wanted to sell the Chevelle. So Monty passes away. I'm all up in my fucking feelings about it. I'm missing him. Stacy wanted to buy me something. I said, let's buy why don't you buy me the black Chevelle back? And at the time, the car was 30 grand. She said, where am I going to get 30 grand at? And I said, tell you what, if you really want to buy something that means that's for me, then we'll go take out a bank loan, and you sell anything I got, any part that I got, you can sell it, and we pay off the loan, and that way, to me, you actually bought me the car. And Stacy did. She sold $18,000, $19,000, $20,000 worth of stuff, and then we just paid off the rest of the notes. So Stacy actually bought this car back for me because I wanted to redo the car, go do drag week in Monty's memory. So, needless to say, a few things have happened with this car, and it's been like everything has been against me on getting it finished. Ozzy and Manny at HPP was a big fucking reason the car is as far as it is. It caused a strain in a friendship that I didn't like, in two friendships. So it's like everything was against me ever fucking finishing this car. And then when I did start working on it, you know, after I got it back to Ozzy and Manny, and they repainted the car and did all the plumbing and the wiring, and just had some little shit to finish up. Well, matter of fact, same spot as that when I started back on it. And I had started on the car, and I was kicking ass on it. I mean, it was, you guys remember when I was doing the videos, it was coming along great, and everything was coming together. You know, we pulled it all back apart to smooth, to clean everything up, because it had 1,000 holes in the firewall. And every time, you guys see, I can't even say his name. Well, imagine looking at that. So, I decided the other day, fuck it, I'm done. I'm never going to be able to finish it. I can't get out of my feelings long enough. I got to be a pussy about this and not finish this car, because I can't work on it without getting emotional. So I put the car up for sale. Guy from New Zealand came up and looked at the car, and I mean, he's really serious about the car, and you know, he looked at the paint, and he wanted the car to do some car shows with and race every once in a while with his buddies, and I mean, he was really getting serious about the car, and something inside of me kind of clicks that it's fixing to be gone. And I hadn't done what I said I was going to do. So, when we were talking about this car, I told him, I asked him what he wanted to do. He said, I want to go to car shows, and, you know, once in a while I'll go to the racetrack. I said, how fast do you want it to be? And he goes, oh, I don't know, you know, like low 5s, 520s, 530s. I told him, I said, dude, I like the shit out of you. You're a super cool guy, but I'm going to be honest with you. You just starting out, this is probably way more fucking car than what you want. And actually, after he came and looked at the car, and he was thinking about it and kicking it around, and I laid some stuff out that had to be finished on it. And the next day, I pulled the tranny cooler and the oil cooler and start remounting stuff. And I mean, I wasn't trying to push the guy into buying the car. I was just trying to point out, and I wasn't trying to get him off of the car. I was just pointing out that this is not a car. I mean, it's 756 cubic inches. It's got 6 stages of fucking nitrous on it. I mean, it's built to be a drag week car, but it's something that takes work. You know, you got to know the car. And like I told him, I said, this car, the converter, everything's set up for this car to be ran on nitrous. When I ran this in Reaper, you know, it run 5.0s, but at 300-400 feet, this thing starts skating around because it never would set the chassis, because it was never meant to be, the setup was never meant to be run NA. Anybody that's ever ran a fast nitrous car, when you try to run them on the motor, I mean a fast one, a 4-second car, you figure out real quick that if that chassis don't set, it gets out there and just fucking unloads and skates around like you're driving on ice. And when I pointed all that out to him, you know, a couple days later when he calls, I told him, I said, he goes, man, I just don't think it's, he said, I think it's just not right for me starting out with a car like that. And I said, I absolutely agree. But when I was faced with this car was fixing to be gone, and I never even drove it since doing all of this work and all this money and all this time and all this emotion, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to finish this car. And I'm going to finish this car, and I'm going to go run it. I've had some lengthy conversations with Monty while I've been working on this car, to the point that, honestly, if he's standing here, I'd probably punch him in his mouth, because he's kind of being a dickhead. When I'm talking to him and talking about him not being able to work on the car, because I think about him. I hear his voice in my head. Tell me, quit being a pussy, just get the goddamn thing running, James. It's not that hard. You just got to actually get off your ass and work. So, the other thing I thought about, you guys have heard me in the past say when you build a car, you put part of your soul in that car. And it seems like after Monty passed away, and that's when I didn't give a fuck about the list anymore, didn't want to race the car, didn't really give a fuck about nothing. I didn't have my brothers, didn't have Monty, you know, so I was just kind of sliding by and just kept falling down and falling down and falling down, and you know, then I switched the car to a Pro Charger because Monty was gone, and I didn't want to run nitrous anymore because I didn't have him here. And I thought about it the other day, guys, as stupid as this may sound, all my bad luck, I don't say it's bad, I don't know if it's bad luck or if it's just by the fact that, I don't know what it is. But I did think, you know, the right thing to do for me, no matter what, is to finish this car, go do drag week, well, probably Rocky Mountain Race Week or something with this car, and do what I started to do. And maybe that's part of what, I know this may sound stupid, but maybe that's one of the reasons everything else doesn't go quite right, is because I haven't finished this one. So, I'm going to finish it, guys. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to take it on Rocky Mountain Race Week, Sick Week, whatever comes up at that time when this car is done, and I've got it dialed in and I've got it tested. If whether it wins or whether it loses, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take that final ride. Because everything about this car is emotional. That's the motor out of Reaper. That's the first Holly system that Monty actually gave me. This is everything that was in Reaper back when Reaper fucking was fast, and I won races, believe it or not. And maybe that's part of the problem. I need to get this closure done. Maybe it's not. But when I realized that it was fixing to be gone, God damn. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Damn it, this is hard, guys. And that's the other thing, I don't talk about this other than Stacy. And I mean, when I mounted the bumper today, I'm just knocking at the list. But I'm gonna go drive this car, and I'm gonna go race this car, and then somebody else can own it. But until then, it's not for sale. I'm gonna have Stacy pull the ad down. Got to return some phone calls to guys that are wanting to come look at it, but if I never do anything else with a car again, I got to see this one through. I seriously doubt this video is ever going to air, but everything happens for a reason. I believe that with all that I am. And I always have. Everything happens for a reason. Good comes back when you put good out. And there's a lot of times that I wonder, what the fuck am I doing wrong for me to have the shit happen that happens to me? You know, the gold car fucking backfire, the battery charger coming on and catching the fucking thing on fire? Come on. You know, the Pro Charger car hauls ass. Can't keep it from breaking a Pro Charger. I take Stacy's fucking car, and I mean that was self-inflicted there. But you know, tonight you guys will see that that was a tough fucking deal for me, because in all the years of me owning that fucking Chevy too. Matter of fact, if this video does make the light of day, which I doubt it does, I lose the first race that I've ever lost in the Chevy 2. I think I need to finish this car, guys. Well, I know I do. I have to finish this car, and I'm just taking it. I got a whole list over there, and I'm knocking shit off of the list, and I'm gonna go ride this car. I'm gonna take a ride with Monty. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna finish this, because if I don't finish it, then I'm never gonna get past it. Hell of a guy.